Guys, it is me, the one that you call Jay Flat Out, and today I want to talk about dash cams because Vantrue sent me this. This is the Vantrue on-dash N2 Pro. Link will be in the description if you're interested in this, but I want to talk today about dangerous dash cams because I have a couple of opinions about dash cams. I've been on the fence about getting one, not getting one, running one, and just because they sent me this, don't think that this is going to be a plug for dash cams. You're going to get both opinions of mine, positive and negative. So let's start with the unboxing, I guess. Packaging actually seems pretty good. This is actually like $200, so I'm expecting a lot, but we'll see. So it comes, as you open it up, comes with the quick start guide right there on the top. Then it comes with, share your video and get something, follow us. And then the big instructions, are they in English? Hold on. Okay, they are in English, that's good. The quick start guide is also in English. Okay, so that's good. So anyway, the first thing we pull out is this, wrapped up in a little plastic, and that is where we see the dash cam, the first look. So this is the front of the dash cam, or what I'm going to call the front, which is what essentially looks out the front window, the front windshield. You got a little, what does it say? N2 Pro on the side. This side looks like it's where your USB goes, and also, just as I suspected, a spot for the memory card. And here's where we're going to debate later. But the back has this small screen, but it also has an inward facing camera. Now, again, we're going to talk later. So let me finish the unboxing. The foam, it's actually packaged very well, and when I saw the size of the box, I thought that it might not have a lot of stuff with it, but it's actually packaged pretty smartly. So we have a windshield mount. This is okay, this is kind of curious. Hold on. So the windshield mount is a suction cup with a rotating lock. And then it has the micro USB port there, but then the back, okay, so when it connects, you don't actually, you don't actually connect, this connects to here, and that's how it charges. So I'm assuming, then, hold on, we have a USB to micro USB, as well as the cigarette lighter. And this obviously goes in here. So I just read through the quick start guide to get some more information. Couple extra things I want to add. Basically, this has the G-force tracker or the G-force sensor inside, so if you are detected to be in a collision, this will automatically save the footage, so it can't be overwritten. Like if your car gets towed away or you go to the hospital, this isn't just recording, the back of the tow truck, while you need that footage. Also, if you press this button, it will save what you just saw, which can be cool. If like a deer runs out in front of you or something happens funny in front of you, you can save the footage, just like most dash cameras have this feature. So we're in the truck now, and this is going to be the first time plugging in this dash cam because I want to see kind of how long it takes to get started, or if it's really plug and play. I probably could have unwound that in a better way. Super long, I'll give it that. Super long cord. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now I've navigated that 16 miles of cable. Let's see what we got. All right, well, it's already recording. It's telling me the date. The date is wrong, but it's giving me a preview of the front and a preview of what's facing you, obviously. This is kind of pointless, so let's just start driving and see what it captures. So I'm gonna throw that up on the window. Oh man, it's kind of blue in the front though, it looks like. And let's go for a drive. While I'm driving around and the dash cam's getting its test footage, I want to talk a little bit about dash cams in general. Personally, I don't like them, just the culture. For me, it's kind of like telling on yourself or being like almost like a snitch, right? I get protecting yourself, and of course there is an upside to them in that perspective, where you can obviously, if something happens, it's not your fault, and you have the video footage, then of course you're good, right? You'd think. But on the other perspective, if you do have a momentary lapse of concentration, or in fact you are just a horrible driver, that is also going to be captured on video. And I want to get away from accidents a little bit, because of course, you know, in an accident, any additional view that you have is going to help you out if you're in the correct. You're not the cause of the accident. However, I want to talk about getting pulled over, and essentially the dash cam is creating a constant loop of evidence, right? And if you are the type to get pulled over, if you are doing things that get you pulled over, that is a item that can be subpoenaed as evidence, and you're required. There's no just like, oh, throw the evidence away or whatever, because then when you go to court, the judge is likely, or if it's a serious enough crime, the defense attorney is gonna, or the prosecutor, excuse me, is gonna be like, well, if you have a dash cam, why don't you have the footage of the time that you were pulled over? Because then we would have the crime on tape. Furthermore, if I was to run a dash cam for myself, it would definitely only shoot out the front window. I definitely don't want any kind of recording of what's going on inside the truck or the car. But again, from another perspective, for like an Uber or Lyft driver, or like a pizza delivery guy, anyone who uses their vehicle for work or a company vehicle, this may well be a great addition, because obviously if you have an accident or anything like that in a company-owned vehicle, the company could see what the driver was doing that caused the accident. And of course, when you're driving somebody else's vehicle, they have every right to keep an eye on you, right? For Uber and Lyft, same thing. You know, if you have some passengers that are wild or whatever, at least, you know, you have that on video should you ever need it to protect yourself. So from that perspective, I think it's a good idea, right? Of course, but for me personally, I don't want one that's shooting inside the interior of the vehicle. All right, guys, so I'm complete with the errands. The dash cam has supposedly been running the whole time, but actually at this point, I don't know what it's captured. I don't know if it's recorded anything. I did press like the emergency button a couple times to see what would happen, so we'll see what we get back at the house. So we're back at the house. I've loaded up the dash cam footage. Basically what this specific one does is it seems to record in 3-minute sections. There's 2 separate files, one for the front camera, one for the back camera, and then if you hit that emergency button or the capture button, whatever it is that I was talking about earlier, then it will save that in a separate folder with a lock icon, and it can't be deleted until you upload it. So let's take a look at the footage. So this is me pulling onto the street. It's really blue. Why is it so blue? I'm not going to edit this in terms of visually, and it does record audio. I've muted the audio because I had music in the background, and I'm not trying to get copyrighted, but it's really blue for some reason. Now my front windshield is tinted, But let's look at some more of the clips. So far, it's a little blue, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here you can see me in the interior. Now, the rear camera is a bug eye lens, obviously, because this is mounted on the passenger side of my rear view mirror, and it can still see basically the entire driver. So it is obviously like a bug eye. It makes my face look really slim too, so that is a positive. But as you can see here, it captures, you can see stuff out of the side. You know, if you were T-boned, this would be helpful. You can see kind of out of the back. It's a little bright out of the actual back window, but again, if you were rear-ended, it would capture it. So the interior is decent, regardless of my personal preferences of recording the interior. I will say the interior quality is decent, and it does record audio, like I said. And let's look at one more exterior. So this one, as you can see, it's not quite as blue. The exterior quality is a little bit better. Again, based on where it's mounted, which is where I would want it mounted, you do get a better view of the passenger side, or like a wider view of the passenger side. It seems to be in, I'm not sure how many frames per second it shoots in, but it does say that it's a 1440 Super HD. That's the funny thing with these Chinese companies. They use like funny words and stuff like that. But I take back what I said about the blue thing. The quality is decent. You know, obviously it's not like for YouTube quality. It's, you know, to protect yourself. So I will say that the speedometer, or the mileage, you know, how fast you're going along the bottom there, isn't working though. So that's it for the video, guys. My final thoughts on the dash cam are the Vantrue is a relatively good quality. $200 might be a little bit expensive, since there are ones for about $240 which pair to your phone, and they allow you to control the camera and get clips on your phone. So I would probably go to one more step up from that, but the Vantrue is decent, I won't lie. I think it should be closer to maybe 80 to 120 though, personally. In terms of dash cams in general, if I was to get one, I would personally get one that doesn't capture the inside of the cabin, as I've said multiple times. I'm not so against them, obviously, looking out the front window and out the rear window, but like I said, just for me, for privacy reasons and stuff like that, you just never know what can happen, and at least, you know, you're still protected if it's looking out the window. Again, the caveat to that I spoke about earlier is if you are like an Uber driver or you're driving a company vehicle, this is a decent dash cam, honestly, because it does capture the inside, it captures audio. So if you have employees or passengers acting crazy, then you will have some level of protection. But keep in mind that, you know, obviously if an employee does something kind of messed up, they can just pull out the micro SD card. For Uber drivers, I would grab it. You know, there may be cheaper options, I'm not sure, but the quality is not bad. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the description, or underneath the description in the comments section below. This has been Jay Flat Out, giving you my wisdom on dash cams. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Ryan Little. Yoga.